After the Civil War, Chicago businessman George Pullman began hiring thousands of African American men, including many formerly enslaved people, to serve white passengers traveling across the country on his company's luxury sleeping cars. The need for labor created employment opportunities for African Americans, and the first Pullman Porters began working on the trains around 1867. The men worked long hours in passenger cars that they were not allowed to travel in due to Jim Crow segregation laws. The Pullman Palace Car Company built, owned, and operated the majority of luxury rail cars. These opulent trains were dubbed hotels on wheels, due to onboard social activities, dining cars, and sleeping berths. Pullman was open about his reasons for hiring black porters. He reasoned that formerly enslaved people would best anticipate and cater to his customers' needs and work long hours for cheap wages. By the 1920s, 20,224 African Americans were working as Pullman porters and train personnel, the largest category of black labor in the United States and Canada. While they were underpaid, overworked, and endured constant racism, Pullman porters helped fuel the Great Migration, shaped the black middle class, and laid the groundwork for the Civil Rights Movement. Their duties included carrying baggage, shining shoes, maintaining the sleeping berths, and serving meals. In some cases, they were required to perform for customers. Porters were at the beck and call of the passengers and were under constant scrutiny, expected to give service with a smile, but not so friendly that they may be accused of impropriety or disingenuous conduct. Passengers used the derogatory terms "oi," hailing from enslavement, or "George," after the founder George Pullman, instead of the porters' names, exerting power and a sense of ownership over the men. Porters endured long hours, with passengers frequently boarding and detraining at stations throughout the night. Porters were required to work 400 hours, or 11,000 miles per month, whichever came first, to receive their full salary and often relied on tips to make a decent wage. Porters could be required to work shifts up to 20 hours long to make up their 400-hour monthly minimum. They also had to pay for their food, do unpaid prep duties, and purchase their uniforms. Despite routine discrimination, Pullman porters were well-traveled, knowledgeable, and had regular contact with politicians and other wealthy clients. They had their finger on the pulse of American society. The Porters had an alliance with 5 prominent African American newspapers and transported vital information to black communities. The Western Appeal from St. Paul, Minnesota was one of the first newspapers to report on the Pullman Porters. It became the official publication of the United Brotherhood of Railway Porters. The Porters organized and founded the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters in 1925 with A. Philip Randolph, who advocated for improved working conditions and salaries. The BSCP was the first African American labor union to sign a collective bargaining agreement with a major corporation. The union also included black female maids who were expected to babysit white children in addition to their cleaning duties. BSCP faced staunch opposition from the Pullman Company, and it took more than a decade for the union to sign a labor agreement. In 1937, after 12 years of resistance and negotiations, the BSCP was recognized as the official union of the Pullman Porters. Their victory helped to lay the foundation for the united efforts of black workers and labor unions during the Civil Rights Movement.
Every time I see an engine coming down the track, I get so doggone lonesome that I wish I was back. Listen to the whistle, Lordy, Lordy, what a thrill. I wish I was in Dixie with old Steamboat Mill. I plan off different stations as we roll along the line. I press this thing to mission question, is the train on time? Is the train on time? I get that coat and hat. And see, boy, I don't know exactly where I'm at.